So I seen a report via WDVE and ESPN. Jeremy Fowler, big Cam Heyward, is not expected to show up to. I think it's involuntary OTAs. He doesn't have to show up to these OTAs, but he's basically trying to negotiate a contract. He's trying to get the Steelers to sit down. And to me, I mean, he's been getting grilled by the media tremendously lately, especially at the end of the season. They were like, are you going to retire? Do you think you're getting paid too much?" Because Cam Heyward is still on a Kevin Colbert deal to where you kick the cap down the road, kick the cap down the road, kick the cap down the road, and now we're here with Cam Heyward, 35 years old, coming off injury, coming off surgery, making $22.5 million, and now he wants to hold out to get extended. So to me, the only way the Steelers should sit down and negotiate any kind of contract with Cam Heyward right now, in my opinion, is if he's going to kick back. Cam's going to have to kick back. He's going to have to take that $20 million and put it into as an extension, and they're going to have to re-sign him, in my opinion. I think a fair salary for Cam right now, given his age, given the fact that he's coming off surgery, a low production season, he should only get about $15 million a year. I think that's fair. Alex Highsmith's making around $15 million a year. He's not an elite defensive lineman anymore. He's just not. The past 3 or 4 years, the Steelers' defense has been getting gashed and just ran all over, and it starts and stops in the trenches. And for him to come out here and do this, for him, and you could just tell on his face when he's asked these questions, like, why are you guys asking these same questions over and over again? Why are you guys asking these questions? Because they're getting paid by the Roonies to ask these questions, bro. Because you're making $22.5 million next year, which is a major cap hit. It's probably the second most next to TJ Watt. For what? To be sidelined 8 games? What? To give up 200 yards on the ground? To basically get dominated on the ground in the trenches? And that's not what the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is about. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is about dominating up front, bringing fear into opposing offenses. I remember when we had Casey Hampton at nose tackle, that we went like 100 straight. It was something ridiculous. I forget the record to where the Steelers did not give up a 100-yard rusher. It was insane. And now teams just, it seems like it's just easy. They just come in and they just tee off on our defense. And is it all on Cam Heyward? I'm not going to put it all on Cam Heyward. I think we've lacked a lot of depth and talent at the inside linebacker position ever since Ryan Shazier went down. And I think we've added a lot of great new additions, especially with Patrick Queen. That was a major, major addition, but still, you are the guy that fills up multiple blocks. You are the guy that's not going to do anything the pretty stuff. You're going to do the dirty stuff in the trenches. And, you know, some might say we can go out there and get a rookie, some dude on a rookie contract that can fill up blocks just as good as you, is younger, more hungrier, and on a rookie deal. Basically, like Rocky in Rocky 3, he had to find that eye of the tiger again. Now, can Cam find that eye of the tiger again? I don't know. I mean, you're 35 years old. You're coming off major surgery, like I said. And you got these new young bucks coming into the league wanting to knock wood on you, Cam. They want to knock wood on you. And I think you already came out and said you refused to take a pay cut. So I don't know if that's true or not true. I'm not going to sit here and speculate if it's, because you never know. Because there's so many reports coming from the media every day that's true and it's not true and it gets denied. So this is just the big news. I mean, this is the captain of the defense. TJ did the same thing. He got his way. But the difference between TJ was he wasn't even in his prime. TJ literally damn near broke the single season sack record. And does he get a lot of credit for those sacks, to which maybe he runs free at the quarterback because these 3-4 guys are setting the edge? Of course. And football is a team game. And I would love to see Cam Heyward come back. I think he's a Hall of Famer. But I think he's got to take a reduced role on a team. He's got to realize that he's at the end of his career. If he wants to keep staying with the team, he's got to be more willing to have a mentorship type of role. Be willing to kick back a little bit to actually build a championship roster, because that's just the theme for the Steelers throughout their years, is giving back, taking less to play for a team and buy in to what you're trying to do. And what the Steelers obviously are trying to do year in and year out is win a Super Bowl. And Cam Heyward is a great addition to help you win a Super Bowl. He's never won a Super Bowl, but You need those guys in the trenches. And we need to start finding new young guys in the trenches, like a Benton. You need to be more of a role model to Benton, more of a teacher to Benton, and a lot of these young guys on the defensive line. And you got to give a little bit back because let's just be honest about it, man. 35 years old, $22.5 million. Hell, what did they get Patrick Queen for? Like 10, 15? We could have 2 Patrick Queens for your type of money, man. We can have 2 Ojanobis for your type of money. We can have 2, there's probably a lot of linemen that bring a little bit more production than you. What's DJ Reader getting paid for the Cincinnati Bengals? He's an amazing defensive tackle. I don't know. Probably less than $22.5 million a year, though. Is he getting up those sacks? No, but he would be a great nose tackle in a 3-4 defense. I know that. So you gotta take the good with the bad. And I feel, Cam, the only way you're going to get an extension is if you kick a little bit back this year and, you get like 2 years added onto it. Make it a 3-year, $50 million deal. And then make the salary. And you get a little bit goes to the bonus. And then the rest goes to the cap hit. So the cap hit maybe like 12.5, 13, 14, something like that. And then the rest goes to your bonus. And then we can actually start building a roster. You can be that mentor guy. You can be that leader. You can continue to be the face of what you've been this franchise for how long. Yes, and you're a great role model to the community. Walter Payton Man of the Year. But at the end of the day, if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to force a guy like Troy Polamalu, who is nothing but a class act Hall of Famer first ballot, force him to retire, and a team that was going to force Ben Roethlisberger to retire unless he took a pay cut. And those 2 guys won Super Bowls. Those 2 guys are guaranteed first ballot Hall of Fame. Maybe not Ben. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer. First ballot, it's going to be close. He's going to be right there on the line. Maybe not first ballot. Second ballot, guaranteed. So, are you a first ballot Hall of Famer? Maybe not. You get those extra 2 years on your contract and you finish out your career getting your 7, 8, 9 sacks you get a year. Get 100 sacks, finish your career with 100 sacks at the nose tackle position. You're at like, 80? You posted your stats the other day on your Instagram. You're at like 80, whatever it is. So, yeah, in 3 years, you can definitely rack up 20 more sacks easily, given your production throughout your career. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, and sometimes you got to make decisions you don't want to do. And are you going to get any more anywhere else, Cam, than the Pittsburgh Steelers? At 35 years old, coming off surgery, I just don't know. So, we'll see how this all plays out. This is going to be a developing story probably for the rest of the offseason, honestly, in training camp. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how this all goes. We'll see if I have a feeling Cam's going to be willing to give back like he's done his entire career. That's the reason he's won the Walter Payton Manning Year Award. I believe he once said he wants to retire a Steeler. So hopefully they can wrap this deal up and get it done. And he can retire a Steeler. Be immortalized in Canton forever because he's earned it. But you got to give a little bit of back to the team that, even though you might not want to admit it, made you who you are today. And you're following in a long line of generation after generation after generation of great talent. So, Cam, continue to trend. Give a little bit of back. Mentor these boys up. Let's get back to smash mouth defense. Let's get back to smash mouth offense. And let's get back to fundamental X and O football. None of this backyard playground bullshit. And let's get a fucking ring. And let's get a Super Bowl. And walk off as a Super Bowl champion, hoisting up the history, the most Lombardis in NFL history, Cam. But it's going to take a little wiggle room on your part, and it's going to take a little bit of wiggle room part on Omar Khan's side. So let's see how it goes. It's going to be a big story probably for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, honestly. So I'm surprised this news came out. I just wrote an article about Cam the other day. So here we go, Steelers. Cam's been one of my favorite players for the longest time. And hell, Ben was one of my favorite players growing up, but when he's in the ass end of his career, I wasn't going to split any hairs. You're overpaid, you're a diva, you're making too much, and that was the management's position too his last year of his career, and that's why he had to kick back, or he was going to be forced out. Just like Troy Polamalu got forced out, Cam, and I don't want to see you get forced out. So give a little bit back, and I'm sure the Roonies will be willing to, give you an extension and let you retire a Steeler, let you be immortalized forever in Canton, and maybe behind Mean Joe Green, the greatest defensive tackle the Steelers have ever had. Maybe. Casey Hampton's up there too, so I don't know. I might put Casey Hampton ahead of you. I don't know, but he's not in the Hall of Fame though, and he probably won't make the Hall of Fame because he did everything the team asked him to do, and it wasn't getting sacks. It was just stuff in the middle and stopping the run, and that's something the Steelers haven't done for the past 3-4 years. So $22 million is a lot. That's a big percentage of the salary cap. What is the salary cap? $250 million. So what was that 10, 15% of the salary cap? It's a big hit, Cam. It's a big hit.